Welcome back to Wake Up America Early. So America is fighting to stay ahead in the global biotech race as China pushes hard to dominate this vital sector. New efforts in Congress aim to boost U.S. investment through a key NDA amendment and the work of the Biotech Caucus. So here to discuss the plan and what it really means for our future is Congressman Pete Sessions of Texas. Sir, nice to see you this morning. Always happy to have you on. First, let's just start with this. So why exactly is biotechnology such a critical battleground right now in our competition with China specifically?
Alex, thank you very much. The advent of essentially AI and the gathering together of data, information, results, trials that are going on are occurring all across the country and across the world. And the United States wants to take advantage of our friends, whether it be France, whether it be Italy, whether it be Germany, as they develop, Japan, as they develop these drugs. We want it to be within the domains that we operate under, where there's an understanding about the use of this, how it, and the results that happen. So the amendment that we've got is simply to make sure that what happens when we are dealing with a friend of the United States and they have same or similar processes like our FDA, that we would allow those opportunities where study was done to be brought in and the FDA could study that to move us faster to implementation. But what you say, Alex, is exactly right. The race is on with China. Their toolkit, their ability to be able to develop drugs that then they control and are not part of the normal systems that give protections to not just consumers, but also to countries, is why we're doing this. It's a real race.
Yeah, and I do want to stay on this topic if we can, sir, because honestly, many Americans, they hear the term biotechnology, but they may not exactly understand its impact on really their day-to-day lives. It's kind of an intimidating term a little bit. But to get more specific, what are some really concrete examples of how a stronger U.S. biotech sector benefits Americans, families, patients, workers, et cetera?
Well, these are good questions. Let me go back for a minute because, Alex, you and I have spoken about this in the past. Mm-hmm. As you know, I'm a senior member of the Financial Services Committee, and we held a hearing where we talked about the cost of bringing drugs to market, the cost of getting through FDA trials. Mm-hmm. And by and large, it runs about $1 billion by the time you go through the marketplace to add these drugs. We have seen in testimony that many of these, some 1,800 firms that bring to marketplace ideas are spending about half of their IPO, and that's the money that brings them to the marketplace of good ideas, is spent simply to register their drugs, the SEC, and to bring them to a trial.
Yeah.
That means that it cuts off. It's not only more expensive for the drug market at the time you then consumers pay for it, but it delays us in implementation where someone else captures the marketplace. Yeah. What is in it is a lot of things that deal with blood, that deal with cardiology and retinal issues. But we have lots of things that are happening by our friends around the world, and we want to gather our friends together and make them part of our market.
Wow. Okay, so I love that we had you on this morning to kind of break all of that down for our audience. But while I have you, I do want to shift gears a little bit. So President Trump, he's heading to Capitol Hill today for a face-to-face lunch with Senate Republicans. This really coming the day after another rebuke from the chamber, a vote to limit the president's military authority. I'm sure one of the big legislative items being discussed is that Save America Act. What do you expect to be on the table today? And how important is it for Trump and then the Senate Republicans to show unity, of course, heading into November?
Well, it is important, but the essence of this is a Senate battle. Mm-hmm. And it's a Senate battle not just with cloture, but with his ideas about legislation he wants that body to tackle. So the president has his own bag of tricks, so to speak, to bring to the table. And he's indicated until Save America is taken care of that he won't sign other pieces of legislation. The inference here is that he wants something more than they do, or that they want something more than him in a negotiation. The bottom line is we as Republicans need to come together. I'm not a senator, but I have many friends that are, and they need to come together. And there's no reason why they can't negotiate words and concepts related to Save America. It is simply too many red herrings of things that are not true and would not be reality laden. And somebody's going to have to explain to our friends in the Senate, probably 3 people over there, why we need this. But I think that the problem is the president has become so closely aligned with the issue that some senators over there simply don't want to play ball.
It's just
He's got to break through this. We've got to do it. We need it. But we also need FISA and other bills that could be signed. The president needs to be a part of that also.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, it's just so frustrating. We cannot get this Save America Act through. My goodness. Texas Congressman Pete Sessions, always enjoy having you on. Thank you, sir, for your time.
You bet.
All right.